Hey guys, it is Takeover Tuesday here on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. Got a great show. I got some serious clout online tonight, and we're going to talk ICAST. All of these guys have been there. They've been there multiple times, and they have a lot of good information they're going to provide us tonight about new products, what ICAST is about, and what you guys can expect here in the near future. So without further ado, let's get the show kicked off.
You're watching the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. Welcome to the Rusty Hook Podcast, presented by Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power, there's something for everyone. ZPRO Lithium, serious power for serious anglers. DuBro Fishing, American marine application in soft plastics. Big Lake Bait Company, Texas's #1 custom bait maker. Raw and unfiltered. Streaming on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Bringing you gear reviews and candid interviews from the industry's best. Angler profiles, tournament news, and legendary knowledge from kayak fishing's best. Grab that cold drink and get settled in. Now here's John Rapp, our host.
Hey guys, welcome to the show, Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast. We're streaming live, raw, and unfiltered. We are on 4 Facebook channels, 2 YouTube channels tonight, as well as Twitch and X, formerly Twitter. So, guys and gals, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and follow button. The 4 gentlemen that I'm about to bring on, you can find all their details in the show notes, their pages and stuff like that. But when they come on, we'll give them a chance to talk about where they're most active and where you can reach out to them. Without further ado, I'm not going to waste much time on chit chat. I'm going to bring on this panel of experts who can talk a lot about all things ICAST. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on the GOAT, old timer. He's not old though, he's a baby, but he knows a lot about things at ICAST. Chris Payne. Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Going to bring on Big Daddy Pod Daddy, the OG Brian Schiller. He's been around. He knows a little thing about ICAST. What?
I saluted you.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Okay. I was waiting for something else, but I guess it didn't happen. Okay. Matt Gibson, welcome to the show, buddy.
Good evening.
The Beast from Indiana, and then North Carolina's own Randy Newton.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey. So, guys, ICAST, it's here. Chris, I guess we're not going to see you there again this year, but, I mean, you've been there so many times. It's old news for you. But
yeah.
Hopefully, we look forward to getting some information from you about everything. Got a few people throwing out comments here. We got Daniel from Georgia. We got Timmy Williams and Mr. Dean Bowling. So hey guys, appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us, making some comments. So ICAST, guys, let's talk about what ICAST is for anybody that may be watching on our networks here, what it is and what they can expect from it. Lead it off, Chris.
Yeah. So, ICAST is basically a trade show. So it's meant for people to see new products that are releasing for different outdoor shops and things like that, to be able to see the new products that are coming out and get ready to place orders for, well, at this point in time, probably for the winter, spring. Because a lot of these products are not being mass produced quite yet. These are production ready, but small quantity for a lot of the products that you'll see there. And it is massive. The Orlando Convention Center, Orange County Convention Center, is humongous.
Yeah, huge.
I mean, it just like, it's like being in Disneyland, but all inside and all fishing stuff all the time.
Definitely yeah. Disney.
I mean, it's crazy big. So think about a Bass Pro Shops the first time you walked into maybe the one in Springfield or wherever.
Hey, Chris,
multiply that by 100. Yeah.
And for somebody like this here,
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, Daniel, are you going if you're going as a helper for a vendor, you need 3 different pairs of shoes that are comfortable so you can rotate them each day. You need to make sure that you are on carpet or some kind of a pad when you're in the booth. Do not stand directly on that concrete for 8 hours. You will hate life. You need to take breaks. And when you're taking breaks, don't walk to the other end of the show and walk all the way back to the other end of the show. Do that in the morning when you're fresh before the masses get in so that you can see all the things, talk to who you want to, and then go work like a good vendor, right, in your booth and help people out. On your breaks, you get water, you go to the bathroom, you do some stretches, and then you sit down for 15 minutes. Then you come back and work again. If you don't do that, by the time teardown hits, you're going to be in a coma in the corner. It will hurt you. How do I know that? Done it.
Hey, or you could be like an unnamed individual that slept 12 hours from Orlando to some location north before his next trade show.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I'm going to blame that on alcohol, aka line cutters, party, dehydration.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That is the other thing.
And just because it's liquid doesn't mean it's hydrating you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
I blame that on Dean and Walton Doyle.
Yeah. Yeah. That Westbrook Supply guys, they made their trip over to hang out with us that night.
yeah, so so Schiller brings up a great point. If you are working it, you may be invited to some parties, the Costa party, the Line Cutters party. There are several different parties. You need to pace yourself because there may or may not be vodka in a fountain that looks like water. And you should not fill up your Yeti cup of that and just kill it like you're hydrating. Don't do that. And understand that there are going to be get-togethers on Monday night if you're there early for setup, Tuesday after on the water day, Wednesday and Thursday.
Start at 2 p.m.
Right, and there are 4 days worth of vendors and alcohol and all kinds of trouble you can get yourself into. Every year, there is a rookie at ICAST who is supposed to report to the booth at 8:30 that rolls in at the butt crack of 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, what are you doing? You can do a lot of damage to your vendor relationships if you don't handle your business. They are counting on you.
It's like I watched a vendor down at the East Tennessee Fishing Show. We'd been out that night with the Hooters and then went to a couple other locations after that. Their booth, they have a little enclosed area where they kept all their fishing poles. He went back there and hid and slept for 2 hours.
Yep.
We got good photographs of him.
Well, don't get it wrong either. You could be a seasoned pro and still screw it up too. It can
Yeah.
still happen.
Oh, yeah. 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 No doubt. So bringing the wife, she might show out. Well, that's fine. If the wife is not working with the vendor, that's okay. It's a vacation for her. Let her have a great time. Because here's the thing. If you take your wife and she has a good time, and you take your significant other and they have a good time, they're going to want to go back, which
That's
makes
the
it
truth.
easier when the vendor asks. That's a good time. For those of you that may have kids that, want to go along, buy a Disney pass. Let them go to Disney while you work the show. And then, work with your vendor about, hey, you think I can get out of here at 4 o'clock or whatever like that when everything kind of turns to, mixers and whatnot. And then you can go be in the park from 4 to 8 or 4 to 9 or 4 to 10. You can get 5-6 hours in, see some fireworks. And then you're doing family time and you're doing some kind of hobby work time. There are lots of ways to skin this cat. You just have to make sure everybody's happy. Now, John, I'm going to tell myself real quick before I realize I'm monopolizing this conversation, but this is a do not do what I did. So in 2016,
Hey, Randy, this is one of those things we need to do a clip for a short later.
I hear you. This is prize information right here.
Yeah.
So in 2016, when we took the KBF Mag Crew, Todd West,
Yep.
Mark Cisneros,
I was
we
there.
all went down there, green shirts, Green Hat Mafia. We were doing the thing. We were talking to everybody and doing interviews, and we were able to do some live first looks at some wilderness boats, some wilderness system boats that were coming out. And so we're hopping from interview to interview to interview. Like, we did 16 spots the first day, Wednesday, the first day the show opened, which was July 12th. The next day, July 13th, we're in the Wilderness Systems booth. It's 10 a.m. We're going live. There are like 56,000 people watching this because we're the only ones streaming live at this point, introducing this boat. 56,000 people on this. And I'm about to unveil the boat, and Todd is reading the comments to me as they're coming in off of Facebook Live. And he's like, "Hey, here's one. I think it's from your wife." And I was like, "Oh, what's it say?" And it said to the audience of 56,000 people, "That looks like a really nice boat. Maybe you can get that for me for my birthday that you forgot yesterday." So don't be me. Don't be me.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Happy
that's
birthday,
classic.
Chris's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey,
It's
Brian,
Friday, believe me, I know.
and segue into what Chris talked about. We're going down with DuBro, as you can see. Brian's at the shop now, and the paddle and fin guys, all of us are going down. Brian and them are going to put a spot for us to do interviews, so looking forward to that. I mean, you talked about all the media stuff that you did, Chris, there back in 2016. Last year, we kicked off a lot like that at Brian's at his booth there with DuBro Fishing and Paddle and Fin, and we got to do a little bit of stuff there. Brian, what do you got planned for this year?
I'm like buried in ICAST right now. It feels like. I mean, we got some new products releasing that I know the kayak community is going to be excited about. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be released more than likely Monday. We'll have the paddle and fin guys broadcasting in the booth. This year, I'm going to do a few podcasts myself. I got some pretty cool guests lined up that I think you guys will be excited to hear from. But I mean, like Chris said, it's an industry trade show, so I'm focused on the business aspect of things. Setting up dealers, getting orders placed, promoting new products. I'll be in the hog trough on Thursday at 2:00, displaying some of the Dewey baits. So I got a lot going on. ICAST for me is definitely a grind. But I'm like Chris, I went, first ICAST was with New Canoe, and I think it was 2021. So it was kind of a screwed up time because of COVID. But I was there for the media aspect of things and a helper to New Canoe. The
Same
following
for
year,
2022,
yeah, following year,
Yeah.
same thing, and then I decided to jump full face into the fishing industry. So now I'm there with DuBro, which is great. I mean, we're a growing company that's been around since the 80s, so it's just progression forward. So I'm excited, man. It's always good to have the paddle and fin crew in the booth doing podcasts, getting some faces in there that may not normally, show up in the booth, but first and foremost, it's business, so that's what I'm super focused on this year. But it's always a great time. And Chris's suggestion of when you take a break, don't walk from one end to the other, write that down. And definitely bring multiple pairs of shoes because it's going to be warm.
Yeah. Those cushions They don't last long on hard concrete. I mean, I've got those big foam cushions in one pair of shoes I got a couple of years ago. Those shoes were so, no better way to put it, rank when I was done.
Oh yeah.
They didn't make it back to West Virginia. They got put in the trash bag and left.
Well, you got to remember, we're going to Florida in the middle of July.
It's a swamp. It's nasty.
Yeah. You walk out of the house at 7 a.m. and you just
it's 90
sweat.
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. So, okay, well, prior to the show, I don't believe
Walton for 1 second.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that one at all either.
You're walking trouble, man. Walking trouble. Danny Gann, definitely disappointed not to see you, my brother. Talking about a stick from Florida, folks. Now, you want to learn about frog fishing, you talk to that man right there. But Chris and I, we got pre-show. Chris was on the show last week, and I told him what the conversation was going to be. He's like, well, I'm going to do a little research. And he pulled up a couple things, guys, that we might see down there for the new product showcase and things like that. One is this baby right here. So let's get some thoughts on that. And anybody that's got some experience can talk about these underspin babies here. So.
Yeah, so let me give you the rundown on exactly what this is, because there are a lot of underspins on there. So this is an underspin from Daiwa that they partnered with Nishine to do the blades on, and this is a saltwater underspin, and they come in 1 ounce and 1.5 ounce. So these are a big boy. This is not what we're used to, that 1/4 ounce little piddly crap. This is a big daddy. It's going to work great for those 6-inch big paddle tails, for those for eel baits, for striper fishing. But it's saltwater rated. It's from Daiwa, and that's a big daddy. So I'm planning on actually procuring some of these to throw on some of my big 6-inch soft-bodied swim baits, and I have a spoiler alert, I have a 7.25 big body paddle boot tail that's coming. It's a monster, but that's what this is. So this will be in the Daiwa booth, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who have been looking for a bigger, faster drop, especially summertime, deep dragging, those big, Bastric boot tails and paddle tails, or everybody's got their own, right? That they really like, but this is gonna be the dude. This is bigger than anything that's out, and it's a saltwater hook, and it's saltwater head, paint job. These come in, I think it's 8 different color schemes, so they've not spared any expense on that. They're not just releasing a matte white like a lot of folks would.
Right.
Daiwa, with that JDM background, they want it to catch fish and catch fishermen, so they're knocking that out of the park here.
What size hook?
So I don't. They didn't have that in the press release that I got, the pre-look. Okay. And I'll have more on that. I'll have the full press release on that on Payne Outdoors this week, so people can read about that. But I'm excited to see that one as soon as they're available on Tackle Warehouse or wherever. I'm gonna grab me some of those. I will tell you, they ain't cheap. As most Daiwa stuff is not. They're gonna be about $10 a pop.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yep. Yeah. That's you're gonna have to mean it if you're gonna throw that thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
That actually looks like a mustad hook right there. That's gonna be a beefy hook.
Oh yeah, it's definitely thick. It is not a thin wire by any means. They're targeting it for saltwater specifically. So, I'm thinking like in the Gulf of Mexico, I'm thinking that would probably hold up.
You got it.
We just lost him.
Yeah, he completely fell off the grid there.
He'll come
Well,
back here. But you know
Texas
what? I
just
mean, like,
blew up.
yeah, I think what the exciting part about this is, I mean, there's going to be other things there. I think one of the things like last year we saw with a lot of the inflatable kayaks come
Mhm.
out. I think the
Yeah.
inflatables are going to be what's blowing up more this year than anything else because there's 2, maybe 3 kayak companies going to be at this entire thing the entire week.
Yeah, I haven't looked to see who all is actually going to be there when it comes to that part of the
I think
world.
it's New Canoe, Bonafide Native.
Oh, it's all Old Town, but maybe not.
Yeah, because Johnson Outdoors is there, so you'll see some kind of Old Town there. I don't think Hobie's going. Hobie Eyewear will be there,
Yeah.
so they usually put a Hobie boat in the booth. Boat BOTE will be there, so that's your inflatables. Oh,
NRS.
what's that company? They changed ownership. They're towards the back of the hall. They were back there last year too. It's not Hoodoo. It's
Brooklyn?
no, not Brooklyn.
No.
They've been around for a while. It's an imported kayak, if my memory serves me correct.
I got
The
it on
Van
tip
the
of my
Van
tongue.
Hook?
No.
No, now you're gonna. I can't pull it up. I'm on my phone in the middle of nowhere.
I know. I'll look it up. There's a couple. Vibe. Yep, Vibe.
Good job. Vibe.
Yeah, and I figured there'd be some Crescents around, like Torpedo booths, stuff like that. I know some folks from Crescent will be there as well. So, yeah, I'm sure Crescents will be scattered throughout the showroom floor.
Yeah, that's what Dean was saying. He there'll be some there. I know somebody was telling me that they have their boat going to be used as a display, but I can't remember who it was now.
Sorry about
But,
that, fellas.
We're gonna.
Oh,
we're
no
gonna-
worries.
We're gonna see kayaks, but there's not gonna be like a lot of dedicated booths like there has been in the past. We're gonna see all the companies are gonna be there.
Sure.
Well, it boils back down to why it's a business decision, and everybody that, and Brian definitely can speak on this, is that going to ICAST, it's expensive.
Mhm.
It's not cheap.
No, so especially a company from Illinois has to go down there. I mean, that, as Brian will tell you, they go in with another company, which was Lakewood, and they combine their forces to do the transportation of both products into a big giant container. And I mean, it looks like an army when we get to unpacking and packing. Because I remember the floor general last year was standing over the side pointing. Remember that, Randy?
Yes,
Matt?
I do remember that. That goes
I
over
remember.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, don't strain your bicep pointing, sir.
Yeah. Gotta love
Anyway.
the good old folks from Freeman.
Well, that's a whole nother issue when you go up there.
Yeah.
Expensive.
Yep.
And when he speaks Freeman, everybody, that's actually like the workers in the union that works there
Yeah.
to help you guys put things in, install, move your trunks and cases in if you're coming in off of a truck. So there's a union group that works there, and
it's mandatory, by the way.
it is
Yes.
it is mandatory on some of your things. Yes, you're correct. Especially if you have something to hang from a ceiling, so watch out.
Well,
Big
we got
money.
one. Let's go with this one here.
What you got?
Yeah. So this is a collapsible, a 1.5 gallon or 6 liter for our folks across the pond, bait bucket that can come with an aerator or without an aerator. If you've already got a bubbler that you like, you can buy it without one. With bubbler, collapsible bucket at 1.5 gallons will be $49.99. Without the bubbler, $29.99. And it collapses down to the size of a 3700 Plano box.
Wow.
So
That's nice.
For those of us that like to fish salt, and sometime we'll sling some live bait, or we want to throw a cast net and catch some finger mullet, and then just go see how stupid we can get out in the marsh. This is a perfect slide under your seat type thing until you catch some bait in the fish net. Blow it out, scoop up your water, turn your bubbler on, and dump in your bait. And that way it doesn't take up all the dead air space that a bucket can until you absolutely need it. And then when you're ready to pack in and go home, you're easy peasy ready to go. So this was pretty cool and innovative. I really liked it. It was something new that hadn't been thought of yet. I think we see a lot of kind of retread ideas, and this one I haven't really seen, and I just thought it was pretty cool. It's kind of using the collapsible dog bowl idea for those of us that travel with dogs and have those little pop-out things. This kind of borrows from that idea, but really, really cool, innovative idea. I don't know. Some people may like it. Some people may be like, I don't fish live bait. But for those of us that do occasionally, especially like there are a lot of cat fishermen that are fishing out of kayaks now, that are fishing with bluegill or shiners or whatever. Like, man, that's a pretty cool thing to have, because you don't have to mess with a big 5-gallon bucket and lug that thing full of water.
Yeah.
Like you may only need 3 or 4 baits that you're going to put out if you're putting out some big bluegill, at a time. But I thought that was pretty cool. In addition, we don't have any pictures to it, but some of the other stuff, for those of you that are familiar with the company, probably most of you are, Okuma is going to be in a big way at ICAST. I got their press release today of all the stuff they're going to have in the new product showcase. They are rebranding a whole line and redesigning. It's going to be called the X Series. They've got freshwater spinning reels. They've got saltwater spinning reels. They've redone one of their bait feeders. They have a new 4000 series big handle knob saltwater spinning reel called the Theros that's coming out. That's really cool. For those of you that like bigger game, they have released a land-based shark fishing reel. They have a 50 and an 80 size. So tons and tons of line. I'll be interested to see how that does. They also are re-releasing some fly reels this year. They have a new swim bait rod that's built as a travel rod. So you can take your burrito roll up of your swim baits and a new travel rod, an 8-foot big swim bait travel rod, with you on an airplane and go down and chase big peacocks, or go to the East Coast and chase big stripers, or whatever you want to do. But they're going to have, like, I think it's 12 new products that they're dropping, and that's before we start talking about their partnership with BBZ. So for those of you that are familiar with Big Bass Zone, that used to be a SPRO kind of thing, BBZ is working with Okuma now, and they have their own brand of baits, and it is slipping my mind what they name those. But they have, does somebody know that off the head?
The Fish Lab? Is that?
Fish Lab, yes. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, they've got a bunch of new jointed swim baits. So for those of you that remember the BBZ Spros, these are multi-joint big baits. They also have some soft baits. They have they have a ton of stuff coming out. So if you see Fish Lab and Okuma, it would definitely be worth stopping by there to see all their new swag. And if you've got a vendor credential for media, go through the new product showcase and see all of that. We'll have all of that lineup posted this week on Payne Outdoors as well. So you guys will be able to get pictures of all of that stuff. The X Series stuff is all kind of a chromy silver look, so a little more traditional, a little less like the Serrano that was lime green metallic, and they're moving back to the kind of traditional silvers and blacks and chromes. Cool. To that. So yeah, Fish Lab. There you go. So cool. Those are the smaller things I'm excited about. I know Lawrence and Simrad have a big announcement that they're making. that's coming out. I know that there's some bigger companies, some more expensive stuff that's coming out, you know, that are in the thousands of dollars range that you can see. But I like to cover the stuff that, you know, can be good for the bank fisherman, the kayak fisherman, the boat fisherman, just kind of the everyday stuff that's approachable. So that's kind of what we're covering.
Well, let's talk about that when we come back, guys. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Feelfree Kayaks. Paddle, pedal, or power. Something for everyone. DuBro Fishing. Marine products for fresh or saltwater adventures. ZPRO Lithium. Serious power for serious anglers. Big Lake Bait Company. Texas's #1 custom shop. You're tuned in to the Rusty Hook Podcast. More than a podcast, but a way of life. From the first light to that last cast at sunset. From the biggest, deepest lakes to the smallest, narrowest creeks, we have you covered. We are all about all things kayak fishing. Refresh that drink, turn up the volume, and feel the excitement. As we continue to the second half of the show, live, raw, unfiltered. Now, let's join the one and only Big Daddy himself.
Yeah, those guys are laughing in the background when they heard old Big Daddy getting announced there. But that's okay, because we're getting ready to start off the second half of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Rusty Hook. We're streaming live on 4 Facebook channels, a couple of YouTubes, Twitch, and X. I'm going to bring back the panel of guys. We've got Chris Payne. We've got Randy Newton, Matt Gibson, and the podfather himself, Brian Schiller. Hey, Brian.
Hi.
There we go.
There it is.
Hi. Hi, guys. Hi.
Okay. That is not a filter, my friends. That is actually Brian. Being Brian. Coffee mug in right there. It's probably empty because knowing him, he drank it all in one swig.
It looks like it's on the table, half of it. That big stain beside him there.
That's oil. Actually, that's glow fuel.
I don't care what anybody's doing. I'm already drinking water, getting my liver ready for the week.
Oh boy.
So guys, Brian, as you all may know, is our marketing director at DuBro, and I'm going to tell you right now, make sure you guys are watching your emails on Monday. So, Brian, you want to talk about that message that you're going to be putting out? What we have going on Monday?
Some new products.
That's it.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we'll be releasing, there'll be a podcast releasing here at Paddle and Fin that I recorded with Adam Frazier from the River Run podcast with the exclusive first thing in the morning. And that,
Excellent.
at the same time, we'll have some stuff going live on the DuBro, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. Right about the same time, maybe just after. We'll have email blasts going up and things like that as well. So
yeah, definitely, guys, make sure you pay attention. If you're not already signed up, go sign up at DuBro so you know you'll get those emails on Monday. And also, make sure you go to Payne Outdoors. Chris is writing all those articles. Get signed up at Payne Outdoors too, and be aware. Check your spam. Get it moved to your inbox so you don't lose that information that's being put out.
yes, sir.
And you definitely want to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on Paddle and Fin Network the entire week. So we're going to be out there probably somewhere around every 15 minutes, most likely having a show go on. There's going to be we're going to bring in vendors, friends of the industry. We're going to bring in so many people this time. It brings a lot of traffic to the DuBro Fishing booth, but at the same time, it also allows us to give you guys great content throughout the week. So pay attention to the network while you're there.
How many shows in total was it last year, Randy? Do you remember?
I think we did
35?
roughly. Yeah, it was somewhere around there, maybe more.
Yeah, and there might have been a couple short ones. I knew we threw in some extra tidbits and things that we kind of did throughout the week. I know John went fishing throughout the week, so we kind of threw some of those things out there too. So there will be a lot of at show content, and also I think we're going to even try to bring from the couch show
Yes.
Ooh.
live that later evening when we are doing what people would consider a Patreon type of show. Nah, we're going to do it free. We're going to send it out there.
Well, we've got a young, brand new high school graduate
Oh no!
that will be there that I look forward to seeing.
You should probably explain more there, John. Because
You might need to
what that
enlighten
was.
everybody a little bit, because that sounded
So
a little creeper.
Chris is like, what the heck is he talking about?
I didn't realize you could be a state trooper without a high school diploma. So I was like, well, congrats. I mean, wow, that's interesting.
Oh,
Well,
poor Bass.
he's actually a DuBro future executive vice president or something. Who knows? But right now he's studying toenails.
Oh my God.
I'm hoping he's a podiatrist.
Negative.
I think John's trying to convert him to a podiatrist.
Wow.
You guys saw the comment from one of the old timers in the industry right there, Fletch Griffin, guys. Shout out to Westbrook Supply Co. and Fletch down in Georgia. Spent a night or two with him down in ICAST, and Brian, the Little Red Cooler, before it was a Little Red Cooler, made a trip down there with him. Whew. It's a fun time.
That's
And
rough.
then, of course, Dan, our man from Georgia, he said he's got bail money.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks a lot. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Dan's he's gonna come over and hang out at the booth with us a little bit. He may be a new recruit to our scene here in the near future. I've been talking to him. Guys, go check out Dan's show in Georgia. It's the May Contain Fishing or something to that effect. I'm drawing a blank. Podcast. Dan, give us a shout out there and let us know what it is. It's May Contain Fishing, but maybe something that you'll see in the near future after he talks with Brian, Randy, and Matt and myself. So
I got a question for you, John. What are you expecting to see this year at ICAST?
Well, honestly, I'll be hanging out with you guys at DuBro and PNF doing podcasts. But Chris, Matt, our boys from ZPRO are going to have their first booth there. So
Good deal.
Michael's going to be there, and he's going to get to experience it and learn a little bit about the fishing world. Because as Chris knows, I mean, being from the Boston area, he knows Mike.
Yeah.
He travels. He stays on the road all over the world doing seminars and things in the lithium industry. So it'll be nice to have him there and to see what we deal with, and he can learn a little bit how the fishing industry actually works. So looking forward to him being there.
John, it would be worthwhile to mention to him that there is a pretty significant new lithium battery launch going to be at ICAST. It's a new company. I'm not going to do them the justice of dropping their name here, but they will have a pretty big booth. I think one of the things that sets ZPRO apart is Michael's knowledge of the industry and his basically the tutelage that he learned under. And the difference in the technologies and being able to explain that. Your average Joe Blow's really, they don't necessarily care until it comes to safety and, how much testing and safety things that he has built into his batteries. There are a lot of good batteries out there, but I would put Michael's expertise up against anybody. I mean, he could draw you a diagram on how every one of his batteries are built.
Agreed.
I mean, he's fantastic at that. So, and if you want to set up a call, or if I need to text him and let him know, I'll just be like, hey, just a heads up, you can do a little research and then you can immediately answer questions, because people are going to ask, what's the difference between you and this one? Right.
Yeah, that if you got the information on that, send it to me, and I'll reach out to him tomorrow.
Will do.
Yeah, and Fletch, as always, I look forward to seeing you, my friend. Daniel's show is May Contain Fishing. It's a good little show he does. I've been a guest on it a couple times. But yeah, he does a good job. Randy, you'd be impressed with some of his graphics.
I like it.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, so we've hit Brian up with DuBro. We've talked about some of the new stuff there. Matt, this is going to be your second year. What are you looking forward to, bro?
I forgot how many it is. It's
3, ain't it?
no,
3?
4.
Second year with.
I can't remember. Math is hard.
Take your shoes off.
Hey, he's not the accountant for you guys, right?
So, yeah, looking forward to it. It's always awesome. I'm a big tackle geek, so I love tackle. I love the little things like Chris was talking about earlier. Looking forward to seeing this. It's kind of an interesting internal battle, it looks like, in the fishing industry between forward-facing sonar baits, and then you have the exact opposite in big swim baits. So, I see looks like Strike Kings kind of putting their foot in with a little bit bigger swim bait than what they've had in the past. Soft swim bait. Seeing a lot of those, I think they're really cool and interesting. Some of those baits too, some of those forward-facing sonar baits, and just kind of seeing where all of that goes. Whether it be rod companies, reel companies, it'd be really interesting to see what's actually on the floor and see how much forward-facing sonar baits there really are out there.
Well, what's cool. What's cool about exactly what you're saying is so cool because, I mean, we just watched somebody here recently, or just recently won one of those pro bass fishing events. He's well known to be throwing a big swim bait. And that's Taki.
Yeah.
I mean, he just won an event, and I mean, I've watched him back in April and May. He's not a video game fisherman. He is a instinctive fisherman, throwing that big swim bait up on the bank in the brush piles, down trees. I mean, but it was good to see him this past week on Twitter. I love his little accent where he was doing a little, I guess, a 10-second thing with a power pole. So he's like, poles down, and then his little boat, you see the poles go down, and then he's like, trophies up.
Nice.
So it's a really cool thing that he put there. So I thought you guys could check it out when you get a chance. Randy, what are you looking forward to this year? Because I know you've been down several years. You were down there during the pre-COVID years, and then now you get the post-COVID years. I think all of us here have had pre-COVID and post-COVID experiences. What are you thinking for this year?
Yeah, no, I'm actually, there's so many baits and there's so many fishing rods and so many reels that everybody else is going to show. I want to probably showcase a lot of the other things. I mean, we're talking, I think last year there was this crazy shotgun funnel for a beer. There was crazy coolers that were out there that you could put a whole 6-pack in, whole 12-pack. So I want to try to bring in some of all the crazier items and the fun items. They don't have to be the big old fishing rods or all the craziness that is kind of already going to be showcased a lot of. I want to bring all the little things.
Hey, so you said something about some type of device that held a 6-pack of beer?
Yeah, so
I'm curious.
There was a cooler last year, I believe. It was a Kaku cooler. It had a little kangaroo as a little logo, and you could take the entire box and just put it inside that cooler, pop it open, and then it will stay cold the entire time. I think it had an 8-hour life of keeping your drinks cool for the entire day. So that was pretty cool. Those guys are up out of Columbus, Ohio. They have a company there that they manufacture these, and I believe that same exact cooler was even on Shark Tank over the last year. So, so that's a neat thing there. Yeah, so I'm looking for all the fun, weird stuff. I've been doing this. This is now going on 11 years, and I want to find all the fun things, the things that we don't see too much of unless you really dig into ICAST and you find those things. So I want to bring out some of those items, but not to mention we're going to have so many of the actual big name vendors, clients. We're going to have those with us. So I plan on taking the mics and a camera and hitting the floor hard.
Man, I got my laptop with all my mics that I ordered, everything, my little monitor. I'm ready for Studio 2. So when
I think we need to get a little rolling cart and just kind of like keep it and just move around with it the entire time.
we could do that.
There you go. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Not to mention, I'm very excited to see for the first time what DuBro has coming out. We know what's coming out, but we're not going to be saying anything until we start launching that next week. But there are some unique items, I think, that are going to come out there. So pay attention to what DuBro Fishing has got to have out there on the... no, I will never say that phrase, Nicholas, and you know that. Yeah. Yeah, so there is a lot of very unique things that are coming out on the market for not only for the kayak side, but for the boaters and everything.
Hey,
Well,
Randy,
I-
can I give you one to check out?
Yeah, shoot it.
I don't know if he'll be there, but I think he probably will because I know he'll be there. Never mind. So Vance with line cutters, they are launching their new emergency escape tool.
Yep.
So that's going to be huge. Balloons, nice. Okay.
How did you do that, Chris?
How did you do that?
I don't know.
That was awesome.
That was pretty cool. Launch. Was it
But yeah,
launch?
no, I
Launch.
definitely agree with you, Chris. I'm actually on the Kickstarter for that, and I've got several of those for all my vehicles. I am really excited, and I know Vance will come into the booth, and we will definitely have that there. We did talk a little bit about that kind of like happening last year, and so to see that in person is going to be really good. It's got a glass breaker on it, seatbelt cutter. It's got the line cutter. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff on it. I'm really excited to see that one.
Yeah, and those are super, super valuable especially for guys that are traveling on the road. And, we've seen some of our friends get in some pretty nasty accidents and have to escape those vehicles. So this is
I've seen a
great
few
one.
of those.
Yeah. So this is just really awesome. Yeah, and then Nicholas dropped in YakGadget. I've not seen one of their leaderboards yet. I'm guessing that they'll be there, en masse to check that out and some of the other stuff they've got releasing. But
Daniel
anyway,
Daniel Woodcock put up a nice review on his Southeast Georgia kayak fishing page. He got one in his hands early, and I think a lot of the people that I've talked to, they're 50-50 on the little mirror thing on the bump board.
yeah.
But all the other little features, I think the best feature, which is pretty cool, is the little marker that you can slide for your cull marker, a cull tab. So if you catch 5 fish, you can always keep your smallest fish on there marked, so you know, okay, this fish is going to be bigger than my smallest, and you can take a photograph of it, go in, reset your marker on your board, and that way you don't have to go turn the X tab, look and see what your smallest fish is. You already have it on your board, you're aware of it. So,
Or we could just build in auto cull as a feature for tournament fishing.
it's there. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, okay, Brian,
So, I mean,
I'm going to bring you back in.
go for it.
So, Brian, I mean, you're working your ass off. But, I mean, what are you going to, when you do get to go out and look things, go refill your 40-gallon coffee mug, what are you going to go look at?
No. I will have a coffee pot in the booth. I'm not leaving to go refill it. It'll be refilled in the booth.
Hey, Beach Basement. There's our crew that we went and visited last year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
I got to text you back, Mark. I've been super slammed, and I apologize.
but we will be in your neck of the woods doing some offshore fishing with Captain Katie Joe again this year.
Yes,
It
sir.
was our third year with her and her assistant captain, whoever that is. I can't remember his name last year, but that ought to be fun. So,
Yes, sir.
where are you going to go look at, Brian? Anything that you're wanting to go put eyes on that you've been researching? Because I know you're, like you said, you've been talking to people that you're going to interview about stuff. Anything that catching your eye?
Nothing in particular. I'm kind of on the same board as Matt. I'm interested to see what the divide is on the bait side with this huge forward-facing sonar bait thing going on. I'm curious to see, what that's all about, because that's a market that's getting over flooded right now. I think anybody and everybody's jumping on that train. I'm curious to see how long that's going to last and who all's jumping into that pool that hasn't already.
See, that's
overall.
interesting because I guess I'm not tuned in to that aspect of it. So,
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not either. I'm not a forward-facing sonar guy.
Exactly.
Honestly, and this is no offense to anybody that fishes forward-facing sonar. Like, sure, great, go ahead. Like, I don't get the whole bait aspect. I know there's some, I guess you would call it technology involved in it or something along those lines. I haven't done a ton of research. I mean, to me, it looks like you took a paddle tail and cut the tail off of it. Honestly, that's my opinion. But other than that, I don't know much about it. I've used forward-facing sonar once for like 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, this is dumb. So I moved on. But, and again, no offense to anybody else, but that's not fishing to me. I don't know. My neck hurt.
Yeah,
Like,
I can.
yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine the zigzagging that they're doing out there and looking for all that, the bait balls and stuff like that. It's different. It's not the type of fishing that we grew up doing, no doubt.
Yeah, and I get what Daniel's saying. They want the bait to reflect the signal better. I get it. But again, like, how's it? I'm not going into this. We're good. So, anyways, thanks, Daniel.
Thank you, OG.
Go for it.
Bring it on, Chris.
So for those that are thinking about maybe introducing forward-facing sonar baits or dipping into that, Zoom still makes the mini fluke, which is basically the same profile as most of those baits, and they've been making it for 20 years. So
20.
just FYI.
Yeah.
It's available for $3. Don't pay $12 a pack because it says FFS.
Comes in plenty of colors too.
Yeah.
I mean, we got two marketing directors on the show here. I mean, them guys, they're like, all it is just same product, new packaging, right?
Right. Big Lake Bait offers a 3.75-inch fluke and tons of small stuff that we use with Med heads and slider heads and other things. You can just hook it through the nose with your little drop shot hook that you want to use for FFS and go to town. Like, I mean, I'm sure DuBro's got tons of dewy baits that could fit that profile. So
For sure.
stick with the ones that brung ya.
There you
Amen.
go.
Amen. Hey, men, nothing but love for you. I'm going to give everybody a chance to give some final thoughts on this. But Chris, while you're up on the screen, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, this is a fun time for a lot of people. Everybody that's going, be safe. For those that want to go, understand the people who are working the show, it is a crap ton of work. And they are going basically for the fellowship that happens after the work happens. So don't be jealous. Just work with your vendors and take a chance to go. And then once you've been, then you can make a decision on whether or not it's worth it. for those of you that are going, please hydrate. Please stay safe. We want to see you after ICAST to see how things are going. And if it is your first time going, please don't be the guy that grabs the 5-gallon bucket and goes and fills it up and begs for samples everywhere. Like, don't be that guy.
Thank you.
Do not be that guy. Don't be that guy.
There's so many of those guys. There's too many of those guys.
Right.
All right, boss.
Looking forward to seeing everybody at the show. Looking forward to showing off some new products that we've been working hard on here. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy them. And be ready. ICAST 2024 is right around the bend. And looking forward to the conversations and the podcasts and all that good stuff, man. Should be a great time. And most importantly, 20 trips to the Waffle House.
That's exactly where I was about to go. Make sure you pack your Waffle House fishing team shirt.
Oh, so real quick, I know we're trying to wrap up here, but I've been thinking about this. I think we need to start a Waffle House fishing team Instagram page and live stream every time we go to the Waffle House.
Done.
Hey, done. Do it. Let's do it.
I mean, eventually Waffle House is going to catch on, right? I mean, there ain't nothing more that would satisfy my life than lifetime all-star specials. I'm just saying, bro.
And let's be honest.
Matt, go there, Matt.
Let's be honest here, boys. We are the ideal clientele for Waffle House.
Yeah, I'm just going to put Daniel's thing back up here. It got plenty of IV med bags. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, lifesaver right there.
Well,
Perfect.
Well, I
I'm
was
going to
thinking
send Daniel the address to the condo so he can come over every morning.
Yeah, well, not only that, but for your coffee.
Yeah, after we take the IV bag, we'll take you out to Waffle House for an all-star special. We'll show you what's up.
Amen, buddy. Amen. Randy.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. This is a new adventure this year for me. I don't know what the following year is going to entail, but I'm excited to see what this year has to offer. I know that you will see a lot of the same things over and over again, and you run from one booth to another. But it's going to be the unique things, I think, that's going to showcase a lot this year.
Yeah.
Agreed. I like it. And, as you've stated, all of us, the four of us other than Chris, because he's Texas-based, but all of us will be doing live shows and recording shows for the Pat on Fin pages. So make sure you stay tuned for us for on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Let's see, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll be pumping a lot of content. So make sure you tune in when you're not busy at work and follow along.
Yeah.
Guys, God bless you.
Hit that reminder. Make sure you guys pay attention. When we go live, it goes live. So make sure you hit those reminders.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for coming on and talking with us tonight. I like having these big panels because, one, not all of us have to do all the talking for the whole hour, and we get to share some of the information. And I appreciate Matt, Chris, Brian, Randy, all of y'all taking an hour out of your time to come on tonight. Chris, I really appreciate you coming on the past couple of weeks. I feel like it's 4 years ago when we're getting the Rusty Hook off its feet, man. So I appreciate you, and God bless you. And y'all be safe. Have a great rest of your week. Matt, Brian, Thursday. Can't wait.
Oh boy.
I leave tomorrow.
All right, guys. God bless you. Be safe.
See you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So that's concluding the Rusty Hook Kayak Fishing Podcast tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in and catching up with all of us. As Daniel has put out, while you're out traveling, if you're heading to ICAST, everybody's going to be loading boxes here the next few days. and starting their day or two trip on the way down. Just make sure you're safe, wear your seatbelts, and use good common sense when you're traveling. I can tell you, and I know Daniel can tell you as well, there's going to be a lot of construction. So plan accordingly to run into construction zones, traffic jams, everything like that. Keep your tanks above a half a tank just for those emergencies, so if you get stuck somewhere for an hour or two, you don't run out of gas. And, when it comes to time on the water, always wear your PFD, and make sure that if you're fishing alone, that somebody knows where you're putting in, when you're putting in, when you're taking out, and where you're taking out at. Again, wish you all the best. God bless you. Stay safe. Rusty Hook, John Rapp, out.